morning, everyone. I'm Chef Matthew Small from Hata and Chef Zone. Thank you for being here again. I see some new faces. That's awesome. For those of you that weren't here yesterday, this is Chef Ewald Nader.
Morning, everybody.
Today he's going to be doing a candy or a sugar show piece. So pay attention, take notes, ask questions, please, if you have any. Engage a little bit. Again, this is sponsored by AUI in partnership with Hata. And anything else, Kelly? Jimmy? Okay. Here's Chef. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Matt. Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for coming. It's the best day for sugar, right? I was surprised how humid it can be. It's very different than the last 2 days I was here, but that's one thing we cannot change. We take it as it comes and try to do the best. What I already did now, I boiled isomalt up to 340 degrees Fahrenheit and 70 Celsius, right? Then I didn't choke it in cold water. It's not as sensitive as sugar is. If you boil sugar, you can only boil it to 320, 160 Celsius. You have to choke it, otherwise it will caramelize and get yellowish. What I do with isomalt, I put a drop of blue in it, just a little bit blue, so it looks more like water, just not too much. And if you do this with sugar, you know, sugar always has a yellowish color. It turns a little bit greenish. And glass looks like glass. I like it a lot. So what I do whenever I work with isomalt, I have leftover pieces, you know, like this I didn't use. And these pieces I used to cool down. So it goes a little bit faster, right? And even if you use for pulling and blowing and you have leftover pieces and the pieces get maybe 2-3 months old, what I do, I break them in small pieces, I boil a new batch and add them into the new batch, and it's fine. Isomalt reacts differently than sugar. If it gets 2-3 months old, it dries out and looks like crystallized. There's a lot of granulates, so I reboil it and it's fine. It's very good. So when you boil it up to 340 degrees for casting, at least you can go a little bit higher, but if you go too high it becomes very brittle. And very brittle, it's, you want it hot, but if it's brittle it's very difficult to transport, right? And I've seen many pieces shattered. And it's very sad, you spend so much time on it, and then it's shattered. Today we face the other problem with humidity, right? I casted the pieces last night, so we only have 3 hours, so I would like to show you as much as possible. Of course, they are a little bit humid, so what I do, I may put it in the oven, I may torch it, I may lacquer it. We see, but I just fight it, right? It's that's what I normally do. I don't know, everybody else has the same problem, especially Hawaii. I live in Florida, forget Florida, oh my God, sometimes very bad. But so I taught sugar in Las Vegas, and it was even worse in Florida. It all depends what kind of air conditioning you have. Some air conditioning will pull out a lot of humidity, right? In Florida, and I think in Vegas, where it's dry, very dry, they may put in moisture so that people don't complain about the lips and the skins and stuff like this, make them feel comfortable. But sugar is very sensitive, and we have no choice, we deal with it. So I put it in a different pan. You see the color? Love it. So sometimes I color it too much too, right? But this is good. I have molds, different kind of molds. I made them myself again, same. I make a model out of marzipan, clay, and cast silicone over it. It works very well. It's not very difficult. I wish I could teach you maybe one day a class of silicone. Yes?
Where do you buy the silicone?
Many different places, right? But I can give you an address after the class. So there's many different places to buy, and you can buy, industrial places too, food grade, non-food grade. For me, it's important that the silicone doesn't tear. I can keep it for years, and it's still good. Because you spend a lot of time, you spend a lot of money, and it's sad because I had silicone, which was not very good. But people think it's a big deal to make a mold. It's really not, because we all have hand skills, right? We model, we do this and that, so it becomes very easy. Good. And I can use this for chocolate too, as I did yesterday. What is here? So you have to wait, right? Silicone, it keeps the heat. So what it does, when you release that, you will see it's going to be dull, right? Dull, but the torching, you melt the surface and it becomes shiny again. So don't worry about that, huh? So we put this. So you have seen maybe some people, they cast in Pyrex glasses. I used to do it as well. I'm not crazy about it because you have to rewarm it and you warm it in the microwave and it always sticks to the glass, right? I like to do it this way. This way, if I'm not too nervous, and I hit it, right? So you see I fill them halfway up because I want to put silver leaf or gold leaf in it. It gives a real nice effect. Here, this is granulates. I have isomalt granulates. You can put it in sugar, rice, whatever. But I like this wild, uncontrolled flow, you see? And especially when you make a fish piece, it's fantastic. So, the only problem is here, I have to cover it, right? I cover it, and I don't know where it is. So, but I want to move it, I want to make it wavy. So you have to be careful you don't burn yourself. Isomalt, have you ever get burned by isomalt? It's so nasty. And I can explain, isomalt doesn't cool as fast as sugar. And that's why it's always worse than a burn with sugar or caramel, always worse. And that's why isomalt may not shine, or it's difficult to get the shine as with sugar, because it doesn't cool as fast down. All right, so don't touch it yet. Wait, got some waves here too. I said I make a fish piece if I have time. I try to make a figurine, a surfer, we'll see how it goes. And then I can use this. So, second one. Again, here too, I like simple shapes. Simple shapes. Natural shapes and geometrical shapes, and try to put it together. So you have casted this. Bubble sugar. So now it's cooled down a little bit. I can move it. You always have some extra on the side. Oh, very good. Because this is in isomalt and this granulates, it's very easy to airbrush later on as well. All right, very simple. Okay, I warm this up. I made pastillage. I made it 2 days ago when I came. Just very simple stones. And yesterday, I think they were drier than today when I came this morning, because sugar absorbs moisture, right? So I put it in the oven. So whenever you put it in the oven, and like, you know, I'm a little bit stressed out, I have to use it today, I don't have another day, I almost put the oven too warm, right? If it's too warm, don't forget it's gelatin in it. The gelatin will warm, and that's it. So I was lucky. But I can still see a little bit moisture. I think it will work well. If they're very dry, and you know, a week, 2 weeks old, very, very dry, very airy, and if you dip them in sugar, hot sugar or isomalt, the air gets warm, moves to the surface, and you have these nasty bubbles. And you don't figure out, why do I have the bubbles? But I think it's from them. So, let me put the glove on. I can never airbrush without getting my hands full of colors. There's another thing when you boil sugar. I like to have watercolor, dissolvable, powder color, dissolvable, right? With water, because the airbrush color you buy may have acid, and if you make a very dark color, acid will work in the sugar and soften the sugar. And so if you have colored sugar, it doesn't have the same consistency maybe as white sugar, huh? White. Or it can invert. Worst case, it can invert. So I do blue. Maybe, if nobody is older than me, or not very many, if you did an apprenticeship in Germany or Switzerland, blue was a no-no, huh? So, and I always ask why. But blue, I think today we much more open, and especially America, right? Very open-minded, and that's why I'm here. Love it. I can use colors whatever I want. So this is the blue. Maybe a little bit black. So it's pretty wild. Put this away. Doesn't bother anybody here, right? They can be like that, but I can tell already it doesn't, you see, it doesn't dry very fast. Still wet. I use a little bit of denatured alcohol. This reacts the color. I don't know if you see that. This happened by accident once, and I really liked it. So say it again, please. No, I don't. For spraying now? For spraying, no, it's just water. And here, it's denatured alcohol, which I use afterwards when I blow sugar. I don't think whiskey will work, it's not strong enough. But maybe I do it a little bit more. Yeah, I can tell the stones are not very dry. It would look different. But hey. So and it's very interesting, if denatured alcohol hits isomalt, this sugar, it gets dull right away. Or if you have, if you spray with alcohol color, it gets dull right away too. And even if you have lacquer, you want a lacquer piece, has alcohol in it too. So these are things which are very different than from sugar. And I didn't know that. So if this drop of denatured alcohol goes on here, you torch it and you're fine, right? But if you have a flower, you cannot torch a flower or a ribbon, you're done. That's it. Okay. I'd like to dip this. So, warm the pot. A little bit here. It's still warm. Well, maybe we can go there. Safe, right? Safe. All right. Just dip it. Like chocolate dipping, right? I like to have a sill pad underneath, so it's easy to release. It brings out the color much more. So it's always one, huh? Always one. Ooh. Come on. There you go, huh? There you go. You see that? Brings out nice. So you can do any kind of color. If I make a water theme, that's what I do. Now, I like to spray this right away, right? It's warm still. It will take away of the shine, but I may not use this for another hour, and it's so humid in here. It will affect. It will affect it. Let me put it. I don't know if I'm lucky it fits in. I didn't test before. Or we let it dry first. We let it dry first. Maybe, you know, would you do that? Clean film around. Thank you very much. As soon as it's a little bit dry. Oh, it's still on here. No. Then we can release this. You see, it's dull. Dull. It's okay. It's lots of paper. Oh, this was not very smart. It was too early. Too early. Leave it. Here, I may add some silver on it. Really, huh? Really. So. We fill it. I would like to show this bubble sugar. It needs the right consistency. It will take I have to rewarm it a little bit. If it's too thick, it will not bubble. If it's too thin, it will run over the paper. Still have this. Huh? When you have my second book, it says you have to put alcohol on the paper, right? But it's for sugar. So what it does, if you put denatured alcohol on it and you pour sugar on it, it boils, it bubbles. And it evaporates, creates bubbles. But here, you cannot use alcohol, so I crumble the paper together. I don't know if you see it. And let it run, you see? Bubbles. I use it later on. This looks very good on the piece. Let it get cold. So that's it. So temperature doesn't matter so much how high you boil it, right? I would suggest always to 340 or higher for this. But what creates the bubble is how liquid it is, the viscosity. If it's too thin, it runs over. This is perfect. Right. First one was a little bit too warm maybe, but this one is good. So that's why I have the paper here. I try to release it before it's very cold. If this is very cold, I'll break everything, right? It's a big mess, and today not only a mess, it's going to be very sticky. So see on the paper, on the back of the paper, it's dull. That's parchment. But you could cast it on silpat, vinyl, but it doesn't get cold as fast. And for a demo, I like that. So if you don't like that dullness, I don't know if you see that, you can torch it, it becomes clear, right? Very clear. So even vinyl is still better than this, but I think for what we use it today, it's good enough. Huh? So this goes over here. I just have to find it later on again, right? That was the problem yesterday. It's always when you're in a different place. So, was this the first one? Table is a little bit warm. Maybe this works better. Don't ask me why this goes better than the other two, and it's the last one, huh? So, okay, one more try. So if it's dry, you don't have to pack everything right away, right? But this is so thin, has a lot of surface, and it will absorb easily moisture.
Do you have to worry about it still being warm?
In the back, no. You can, I don't like the worry. I know what you mean, I think it's okay. Look, do I have different bags? I think. Oh my God, you know what? Did I have bigger bags than this? No. These are the biggest one, right? All right. There you go. That's what we do. Okay. Fuck, everything is full. Everything is warm, huh? I know that where you are, it's very cold. On this side, it's pretty warm, huh? Okay. Like to put together the pieces I casted. I said very simple. The base into metal bars, a rectangular base. See. Has the paper still underneath so I can move it easily, doesn't stick. Here I had a silicone noodle and a metal bar on the side. So you have this. So there's different ways to stick this together. You can torch it, right? Torch, melt, or you can dip it. I like to torch both torch and dip because it's humid. If there is any humidity on it, I melt it. Okay. These are spheres with the silver in it. Okay, man. Look what happens. Now you can see it. For this one doesn't matter so much. I use it as a support, but it can be very attractive. With the silver. Sometimes I use this as an inside for a flower. This goes here, now here, huh? So. This was between noodles, and I can see now this has humidity on it. Huh? So we torch it. This goes here, right here. Like this, like that. This has to hold, right? This has to. If this doesn't hold now, forget it, huh? So then this is not ready, but I'll show it to you. This is not ready yet. It's still soft, right? Takes hours. Yeah, you see, and still I can move it. You see that? Still move it. So this will be good for your piece tomorrow, huh? Okay. What did you say? Yeah, I can talk about that. It's the same. Sugar, you know, people love sugar, right? It's very attractive, very colorful. And I think it's nice if you can do it in a hotel for a function. But if this is your living, my God, that's a hard one, huh? Because in the hotel it's okay, but if you have to deliver, you have to pack it, it's humid, it's such a headache. Huh? And I did it for 3 years. Yeah. You know, also making flowers from sugar, right? That's what I did for 3 years. I lived from orders. So if somebody orders 100 flowers, a simple flower is at least 5, 6 petals. You're going to be there. You only have 2 thumbs, right? You have blisters on both thumbs. And you buy number 60, right? I learned a lot. I can make flowers left and right-handed. That's what it is. Huh? So I like this up here. And that's tricky, right? That's tricky because it doesn't have a lot of surface. So what I do, I melt the granulates. And you better burn the sugar in your hands. Huh? Here. Oh, you hear that? You hear that? It's something I don't like to hear. It's cracks, right? So why does it crack? I did this yesterday and the temperature difference is way too big. And that's a problem. Like with chocolate, sugar can crack. Sometimes I make it on purpose. I can show you this. Oh. Sorry. Okay. Very warm. Did it crack here now? So what I like to do, just airbrush it, no, put some lacquer on it. It will not make my life easier later on when I blow the fish and put the fish on. But I don't like to get it dull, huh? So this. I want to airbrush that. I have another one in case, I don't know how it's gonna look on the, you hear that? Damn. But I can show you. You can make it very attractive to make cracks, little cracks, right? And I don't know if you see that. Even over the lacquer, you know, you can crack it, right? That's it. I'm not going to do more. I like attention what this, man. All right. So, what we're going to do here? We're going to blow 3 fish. Huh? Right away. This I try to keep warm. So, I have it in the oven already. Became a little bit too warm. It's okay. You know, I have 2 sugars, 2 different ones. One a little bit more yellowish and one wider. So the white one, I think it's only isomalt. As I said, you know, you like to have shine, right? So isomalt doesn't give as much shine as sugar because it doesn't cool down that fast. So if you want to have more shine, you can add a little bit glucose, powder glucose, or fondant, fondant. So, but it's sticky to work, but you have more shine. A little bit sticky to work, right? So, now I only did 10%, right? Yeah, but when I do, okay, I tell you what, when I did competition work, for competition, this always used isomalt, right? And for blowing and making ribbon especially, I used sugar. And if it was very humid, I made a batch, maybe I boiled 900 gram isomalt and 600 gram, the glazing fondant or sugar. But even if you have 20% in it, it makes a difference. It makes a difference. But it makes a difference too. It's going to be very sticky to work, right? So when you have just isomalt, it's very comfortable to work. I remember there was a time, no isomalt. I cleaned the floor twice a day. And then the hotel called, what do you do there? The students, the elevator is sticky, everything is sticky. They take the sugar, on their shoes. But this is not bad. Look at this. Huh? This is isomalt. Now, I found out the higher you boil isomalt, the more brittle it gets, the less shine you have. Honestly, the lower you get, the more shine you have. But the lower you get, you may have granulates in it, right? So, it makes a difference if you boil on induction or if you boil on gas. If you boil on gas, maybe have this color, on induction this color. Because on gas, the rim of the pot gets very warm and, colors the isomalt a little bit, right? If you do induction, very white, but you may have sometimes a torch the outside of the pot to melt the granulates. See, when you make ribbons, you often have these granulates, and this comes from boiling in induction. It's a very different kind of boiling. It's boiling, the heat is only on them and not on the side, right? Also, what you may not know, when you boil a lot of sugar, always watch temperature. Isomalt, you have to watch the boiling time. If you boil for 320, 160 isomalt, if you boil a kilo, 2 pounds, maybe okay. If you boil 4 pounds or more, and you go to 320, maybe very brittle. The boiling time is longer and more water evaporates. It makes it more stiff and hot and brittle. So if you have a batch like that, and you can reuse it, pour it out, break it down, make a new batch, and add into the new batch, and boil it with it, so it's not lost, right? On the other side, if you have a batch and you think, oh, it's not high enough, because especially when I travel, I always have different pots. Induction oven, these pots, some go faster, some induct heat more, some less. Not every pot is the same on gas too. So wherever I go, I want to boil a day ahead and see the timing. And sometimes it's not high enough. It's very easy to pull, but you see lumps and granulate in it. So you can take the same one and put it back in the pot and reboil it up, right? So what you need to evaporate more water. So it took me years, right? It sounds dumb, huh? But coming from sugar, it acts very differently. And it took me time to do this. And I know a lot of people say, oh, it's so hot and brittle. So then you don't boil it that high. You're too high. That's the only thing it is, right? But we saw, especially space chefs, so fixated on a recipe. We want to do exact recipe, and sometimes, it's nature, it doesn't work. If you go to another country, you have different flour and stuff. Everything is different. We have to adjust. And once you deal with it, and it's okay. But remember, first time to America too. Oh man, what a headache, with sugar. I called up the company and said, your sugar is yellowish. And said, who are you? You must be European, Yeah. All right. Okay. Does this bother? This is here. Many different ways different ways to blow sugar. I like to have a pump. I have a wooden tube. Doesn't matter if it's metal or whatever on the end. It doesn't matter. But I still like the pump more than you blow by mouth. You may see all the pastry chefs blowing by mouth, and they may learn it that way. And you know, it's a habit. But the pump is very easy, and that's dangerous. That's the microwave. You see what happened? Happens even to me, huh? Oh, that's not good, okay? This is not good. You think isomalt cannot crystallize. Isomalt can crystallize too, especially when you have intense heat. But what is worse, when it's like this and you have some isomalt left on the silk pad, right? It's some left on here, and then I rewarm it, and these little granulates, you know, they rewarm again, and they finally start to crystallize, and you pick them up, and it's like a chain reaction. And it gets, when it's different than sugar, if isomalt starts to crystallize, it gets very stiff and dull. You can reboil it, right? But you cannot. You have to do something, throw it away, or reboil it with another batch. So what is important now, that this has a nice and even temperature for blowing. If I'm not able to put it on nice and evenly, I don't get a nice sphere, right, when I blow. So also, if it's too warm, okay, it's good, it happens. You see what you do. You don't pull it, you fold it. Pulling, it's like chocolate. Moving creates crystals. So you be very careful. I pull it when it has the right temperature, but before, if it's too warm, just folding. I'm not overworking, right? And I see if people haven't done sugar before, they're much more careless, because isomalt is much user-friendlier and not so sensitive. Good. Wood, there's some left sugar on it, absorbs moisture too. I warm it real quick. Warm it, not burn it, right? Look what I do. I fold it. I make it evenly warm. Once I have it, I cut it off. And this, I'm not going to roll it because my hands are cold comparing to the sugar. I make a hole here, fast. So if I use it too long, I go like this, rewarm it, and stick it on. Very important, it sticks very, very well. Because you have to, a fish should be easier. It's not like you blow a horse with 4 legs. It should be easier. So, okay, I always keep it in front of my eyes, always turn it, right? I never blow like this. You don't have control. In front of my eyes and turning it. And if you see now, you see that? Moving, right? Maybe a little bit warm, it falls down. Don't worry, you can hold it like that. Or you can make it cold here, or cold like this. So when you do this, you cool the sphere. You cool it down here, and then you blow. You see? It's warmer on the top. So you have to, I call it babysitting. You have to watch and turn. So, and it's like anything else in our profession. If you do it enough, you become that skill, and it becomes easier, and maybe becomes fun. If you expect too much the first few times, it can be very frustrating. You know that, right? It's with everything the same thing. Okay, I make it long now, but if I make it long, you see I touch it from the side, I don't touch it on the top, or not yet, so I have to do this as well. Otherwise it gets very thin. So you should have a nice and even walling. What are you making? Fish, right? All right. Ah, we just have a fancy hair dryer. Can you turn it on high, please? Thank you very much. Not like yesterday, I just make, we didn't look into a book, I just make out of my head. Okay, is it okay? Something like that, huh? And Simple. Once you have the size, form, the shape you like, you try to cool it. It may take a little bit of time. I like this too. It's very warm here. So, very carefully, you can make it bigger again, but you have to take care. It changes the shape, right? If you don't watch. And the problem is, I don't have the patience until it's very cold. That's the problem. So what I do, it needs a little bit more. Doesn't have to be very cold, but I put it on aluminum foil. It gives a nice support, and most of the time it keeps the shape. You'll see. Okay, this okay, out of sight. Maybe we need this later on, maybe. It's different when you have wood than metal. Metal, if metal is warm, you just can slide it off. Wood, it sticks better. Huh? As long as I don't break it, yeah. I love that. Huh? Okay. I show you how to deal with that. I have no choice. Huh? So. If it breaks, if it's bigger, I just blow another one. I think I can handle that. Can make the thing. So why did it happen? A bit of the other sugar was too brittle. So, but it's okay. If this really bothers you, you can put some bubble sugar over it. You know, if I see a showpiece with a lot of butterflies, I always wonder if they should be there or not, right? This used to bother me so much. I'm glad I came down a little bit. Huh? Can you turn it on again? Thank you. I know you took the olive oil down, right? Oh, yeah. All good, thank you. making the fin. Try to do very simple. It's almost like you pull a ribbon, right? Something like that. Thank you. Smaller one for the back. This may not exist in reality, okay? Don't give me crap later on, it's not. But But you all work in a hotel or restaurant and you know how it is. It has to go fast most of the time. We don't have time to fiddle around for a few hours or 2-3 days, you know, to put the piece up, a amenity piece or a show piece for a buffet. This should be for the sides. When I started working with sugar, I made, what do you call this, scales? So what do you call that? Oh my God. Just forget it. You cannot make it nice, right, and even. That's a swan I made feather by feather. I cannot do this anymore. I'm glad I got over it. Huh? So if the shape is okay and elegant, for me it works, right? It doesn't have to have every detail. Unless people ask for it, or you're that kind of person, you know, everybody works differently. For me, that's okay. I always respect the effort and hand skills and time too. It's not like, oh, I like this because I don't do it, or there's a lot of people that are better than me, right? So you have to accept. I think everybody who is good worked hard. I don't know anybody in any profession who is good who didn't put in hours and hours. That's a fact, right? Talent, of course, some people have talent. Talent goes from here to here, but not the whole stretch. It's always, and it's in sport the same way. All right. You know, I did 2 fish this morning. It's much drier out right now than it was this morning. When the room was cold, I think it helps having all this heat around me. Look, very simple ice too. So feel it, it's too warm. Voila. Still warm. I didn't think how I'm gonna put it on. Hold on. I know it goes on the top. I would like to make 3 on the top. Maybe 1 down here, huh? Or here. Here. I'm gonna make a different one, a wild one, wild tail. The body is very similar, but now I modeled the tail. I would like to make one, the tail blown. Maybe I've seen this before, I've done it before. So, maybe you can put on the hair dryer, it goes a little bit faster. Thank you very much. Takes time. Can you hold this real quick like that? Thank you. See if I can take this off without breaking. Thank you. Okay. It's still pretty warm. eyes. I could paint them, but I think they look better this way. Okay, I know another trick. That's a lot easier, huh? The problem is if you blow it too thin here, you got a hole, huh? So maybe we can give a little character a little bit. And this. Come on. I'm worried. I'm worried the other one is too heavy. I know. It's not very. It's dangerous, huh? Now we blow cold air on here. Would you do that? See how it moves? We keep an eye on it a little bit, huh? Cool. You saw that? How it expanded on the top. So we cut it off now. So this has air in it, right? Now I fold it like a ribbon. So it's very airy, so it should get cold pretty fast, right? Maybe a little bit too thick on the end. I cut it off. So can you blow there? Yes, thank you. Can you go away with the hairdryer? Just go away quick. Can you move this way? Ooh. Let's try to do another one quick. It's okay, right? Holds up. This is not so exact. I don't know if you can see it, but it has very thin parts in it. Thicker. It should be okay. Yeah, you see that? I didn't take care as much as at the first one. Sugar was a little bit cold. Let me see. All right. Yeah. By the way, yeah. Can you do it? Good. So that's how it looks like. It's float, right? Thank you. So do the same thing, few things, right? I just, yeah. This is, why did I blow it? It gets cold much faster, such a big thing, right? So, and the faster it gets cold, the better the shine. That's what it is. Huh? So a little punk. Yes, so, I don't know if you see that. If it stays kind of like that, I'm happy. One more. Two more. Two more. It's cold. Just in case somebody's gonna look on the backside too, huh? That's alright. So cold. See, the colder it is, the better the shine, right? Okay, last piece. May I? Alright. I don't know if I have room for the other two fish. I forget it there and then it's burned, huh? So, that scares me every time I do that. You'll never get over it. Oh, cannot be that easy, huh? Yes, thank you. You can buy them in the store. All right, I'll try. See, it would be easier if it's not lacquered, right? I think I feel much better now than 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. It's different. So, but every time I feel good, something happens. So just thank you. Oh, maybe later on. Huh? One after each other. So this was very sticky this morning. So I have some, this silica gel in it, right? So I hope I can put this here, huh? I don't know how I'm gonna airbrush them yet. It's gonna be not easy, but I like white fish too. But Hawaii is very colorful, huh? Many ways. Yeah. Go closer. Thank you. That's what I do. I put the piece on the back. Hold on 1 second. Good. Press. All right. I want to blow a shell. I want to try to blow a shell real quick. Huh? Come on, you just. You want to blow? No, I know it is. Yeah, very fragile. And I can the sound. I know everybody has heard how it sounds right when it cracks. So I see it in a different way. It's every piece you do is a challenge, right? I had to learn to deal. I used to be so frustrated. I remember. You can ask my ex. I'm kidding, no. But there were times I threw the sugar in the corner. I couldn't handle it. And it's all up. I tell you what. I used to think, oh, on Saturday I go in and make a piece, right? You go in on Saturday, take a piece of paper, you come up with ideas, and then you try to put it together. It's noon before you have done anything, right? Then you boil sugar, it's evening, you haven't done anything either. The weekend is gone and you're so frustrated. So what I did, I learned, on Monday you're going to think what I do on the weekend, right? Every day. And on the Friday, if it was a big piece, I had it out of cardboard on the table, 3-dimensional. And so on, then it was fun doing and coming in on Saturday. And I had to learn, sometimes piece breaks and sometimes it doesn't work out. And I used to think, oh my God, another weekend I spoiled. It's not. Every time you do, every time it breaks, you learn and you gain, right? I don't know anybody who is good in sugar who hasn't broken a piece. That's just not, that's what it is. And even, I think every hour you spend, you learn. It's never, you shouldn't think I wasted time. And it's with everything else too, right? If something doesn't work, there is a reason why it doesn't work and you figure it out. And sometimes I feel some people are blessed, they come into the class and it just works. Not very often, but some do. But when they go home and they don't have the same material or the sugar is not quite the same, they become very frustrated if it doesn't work. People who have to fight in the class, already they used to fight and they become much better worker, I believe, right? Anyway, I think everybody goes through the same stages. And chocolate is very different than sugar. Look, let's concentrate on that shell first. This was an accident. I tried to blow a rabbit, mouth, the ears, I cut it, right? I blew and it did not work. I twisted it off. I said, wow, it looks like a shell. That's what I do. So they do now, you will see. I hope it works. Easter very big in Europe, right? Very big Easter bunnies. So that the ears, I didn't work, I twisted it. Become a, what do you call that? Shell, right? You blow it cold. You turn on the. I like to take it off before it's completely cold and brittle. Right, if it's brittle, you saw by the fish it broke. So I take a little bit earlier, and then I may have to finish it, blowing cold. So, but it's not like you can take it off and put it aside. If you do, it's be flat. Huh? It's good. I take it off now. It's still very flexible. Carefully. So then we try to warm it here. So something like that, right? So we blow it cold again. I think it should be stable enough. Leave this here. So what I like to do, I like to warm these pieces. Remember, I took this off too early. This, and I made a few before. Very dull, right? Very dull. Yeah, I think we have enough. See what happens? This is very normal because on the silicone it doesn't get cold fast enough, right? So I like to rewarm it. Yeah, maybe I put the tray in the oven with this. So I know the oven is not warm enough. I warm it here too. What's that? Let's try this one. I don't think we need, let's see, everything. Good. You know what? That I have to tell you, this can be very dangerous, right? Now we have this in here. It's cold, completely cold. I put it on the induction oven. What happened? It only warms it on the bottom. It will still stick on the side, and if you have it on high heat, it starts to bubble. And I've seen it jumping out of the plop out of the pot, and I've seen terrible, terrible, terrible burnings. That's the only thing I really worry about induction ovens. Gas will heat the rim of the pot, and it will melt nicely, like so. Look, I like it pulled a little bit. And then, like that, huh? Can you blow it cold? So, thank you. It's still okay. I'm very happy because I was scared in the morning. It's pretty dry now. It's pretty, or maybe it's still warm, huh? A little bit. So we keep this here. Check the you see that? So if this happens, exactly. I don't know if you can see it, huh? We go like that, and everything is good. It's called patience. I could see it there. You know what? You don't mind. I just stick it there, and then you can blow it cold there. Let's give a shot. Hold on. It's hot. I don't have to tell anybody, right? Okay. Hold on, wait. Wanna make sure it sticks. Yeah. So here, it's good. Oh, it doesn't stick. It's because of the lacquer. Yeah, so it doesn't fall back. Then we have bubble sugar, right? Is it cold already? Very good. Of course, this warms much faster, right? I like this pole too. I often use this for flowers, around flowers, to make it more, it looks bigger, to make it bigger, and because it's clear, it doesn't take away from the flower itself. I love it. I love that stuff because it's so free forming. Hold on. It's not warm at all. It's so fucking hot. So, thank you. Oh, nice. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm not gonna do much more, don't worry. We're gonna move on. Right. Of course, we could do a lot more, but maybe I can show you other techniques instead of cover everything. This. Now airbrush, right? We'll try to airbrush. It's gonna be maybe, we'll see. Normally, I airbrush the fish, then you put this on, that on. Now we do everything, we try everything together. Time-wise, it's easier, faster. Okay, I always start with the light color first. So. Math. Would you look in the pot once in a while? Throw now in the pot. If it smokes, it's too warm. Thank you. I use this to put on the stones, right? It's a very light yellow. The problem is, don't forget it's sugar, right? So you should not be spraying too much because it's an enemy, huh? Water is an enemy. If you spray too much, then it gets dull. It bubbles on the sugar. Try blue. Ah, was not good. Thank you. I hope you like blue. Oh. Color makes a lot of changes, huh? Bless you. Oh, I can see a little bit. Oh, too much color. The yellow is weak. I don't know if you see it here, right? Very sad. So, would you give me the shell, please? Thank you very much. A little bit black. Is the sugar boiling? Could you turn it up a little bit, please? Thank you. Ah. Anyway, what color does that have? I don't know. Okay, so okay. Thank you. Oh, very good, very good. I don't think we need this. I think it's okay. Put the stones on. Okay, we put a little bit of sugar here. You still have the cake turner? Yeah, maybe it's better. Sorry. Oh, thank you very much. Easier. When you smell it, it's too late. Smell it. So the techniques were not so difficult here, right? It's not that difficult. I think the biggest challenge, you won't believe, maybe is the shell, right? The fish, well, if you want to make a certain kind of fish, then it's a different story, huh? But so I think I keep it like that. So you know, I cannot put a ribbon on it, right? And people always want to see a ribbon. I cannot put the ribbon there. It's not good. This, that's it now. This could be very dramatic if you spray this just from one side. You know, one side can be very dramatic. I love that stuff, you know. I I like straight geometrical round shape, but then I like the natural shapes too. And I want to move on, but of course with this bubble sugar, and so you can go really wild, huh? All right. So I'm gonna try to figure in. I never did that, but hey, well, I have one piece, right? Can try. So we leave it like that. Okay. I prepped this morning. Let me take this away. Remember the waves, you didn't see it really. What I casted between the noodles, there are two circles. What I want to create is a wave, right? I want to create a wave. Oh, can I spray this real quick? I clean the table, promise, with alcohol. But it would be sad. You never know, right? Just a little bit. If this is going to be gone. Because it's humid, right? Lacquer never makes it nicer. I mean, it protects, but you put the film on it, a glossy film. People think sugar is not shiny, you can lacquer it and become shiny. I've never found that kind of lacquer. Okay, also when you spray sugar with lacquer, normally that's a very good lacquer actually, yeah, that's a good one. There's some lacquer with alcohol, I said it's not good, right? It makes it dull. And sometimes it depends where I am. I go and buy in a hardware store and buy a lacquer, and then when I buy a lacquer for wood or so, I try to see fast dry, right? I've seen people, they dip pieces in lacquer, but is it humidity as well? It takes time and this lacquer dries, and during that time the sugar will absorb that moisture. And sometimes, you know, people say, oh, it became dull. Yeah, of course, because it takes too long and it absorbs too much moisture from the lacquer and then it becomes dull. So if you don't have this kind of lacquer and you're in a situation, a wood lacquer works as well, or a metal lacquer, but be careful. It smells, you know. And if you do chocolate and you spray a lacquer in a chocolate room, the chocolate smell like that lacquer too, huh? Becomes a very different Flavor, very easily. Okay. So, I want to create a wave, and the way I do it, I did this circle, right? Half circle this morning in a silicone mat, in the noodles, in the silicone noodles, and now I use the bubble sugar to make that water, to try to make that water. Huh? Yeah, yeah. Okay, until it gets warm faster. Maybe have thinner pieces. I put in the oven. We don't need too many more pieces. It's not Hawaiian color, huh? Body color, skin color. So what I did, I took white and took a little bit yellow, a little bit red, huh? Ah, surfboard. Just try to make a board, a surfboard. Try. I know I can do better than that. One more shot. Huh? Maybe this way. You still have that cornstarch? You know, when I used to work without gloves, right? And then I started because you cannot teach the students saying don't use gloves, and then you yourself don't use any. Now I have moist hands too, but this helps getting to the gloves. Helps a lot. And then is a trick. You take two gloves, right? So if one breaks, the top one, it's easier to slide in the other one. Yeah, so. Okay. We should have casted it. Everybody knows better than me. I've never. It's a tricky thing to do, huh? I never stood on a surfboard. Yeah. So that's how I do it. Maybe there's a better way. I don't know. Of course, I'm gonna airbrush this later on. Okay. Oh, you know what? If this is not so nice, it's not so nice. We still can put some water splashes on it, right? Okay. Let's make a lake, huh? A lake, two lakes. I always start the same way. Like this. It's the foot. Can you turn the hair dryer on? Is the hair dryer somewhere? Wrong, huh? How did I stand? How did I stand? I don't know. Something like that. Maybe you gotta print a picture from a. It's okay. I don't know. We just do it, huh? We get it. Huh? We went to a bar last night, and I'm kidding. So. So this is still warm, right? Thank you. So I try to do the same thing. Maybe you can turn it on again. I don't know. Oh my God. So. I think, I don't know. I think so. Yes, we brought this cold and then it. Is that right? Kind of. You don't surf? You surf? Huh?
You a surfer? Get up on the table. Show us. Come on,
It's okay. I know. It's all right. For me, hey. I used to make a lot of ballet dancers, right? But the surf I never did. So we'll try. You have time. Another 50 minutes to get it done. I did the head this morning, so I've done. Okay. Problem is now to get this on here, right? I'll take. That's what I do. Clear sugar. Maybe I do the body first. So while this gets cold, while the body gets cold, I can put on this. So, okay. Oh. It's good, it's warm. We can take this one to stick it up. This should be the body. That's just, maybe it's pushed to model that. It's a lot of sugar, right? It takes a long time to get cold. Okay, one more time. Maybe you can blow this, just keep blowing on it while I work on this. So you can blow both cold. Huh? Can you blow this cold here too? I'm gonna simplify this. I'm not gonna. I thought a dancer. You know what is that called? Hula dancer?
Grass skirt.
Maybe I don't know. No, the Hawaiian lady hula dancer, right? So the skirt is just. I cannot. It takes too much time, right? So I try to simplify the skirt. So voila. I just mix the color. So when I do colors, I just do yellow, blue, red, and yellow, blue, red. That's what I do. And white, you know, and I mix everything instead of having all these colors. So it happens. Sometimes I don't get the same color again. But hey, for me, it's okay. It's okay. So I hope I can make that skirt, huh? So good. Getting nervous. Never look under the skirt, right? Just a thing, huh? I need more. I make a ribbon afterwards. Yeah, yeah. Can you block? Yeah, yeah. But I will make a ribbon afterwards, so makes it more. It's not very. I know I can do better. Whoa, there. So good. So this is very difficult for me, but so we have it here, here. So we make the arms. The arms, I should be able to do it. We do it the same way as the legs. I do it the same way, huh? Same way. And then the head, I know I made one. Maybe it's not big enough now, huh? It's okay. I'll show you how to do it. I'll show you how to do it. here. Then we need okay, what I need to know is which arm is on the front. I think if they go like this, they have this arm on the front, this arm on the back. I guess, huh? So. Same thing, right? That's always what I cut, cone shape. I warm the tip, face it backwards. This is the hand, the wrist, the narrowest part. I try, sometimes it works, sometimes not, the thumb. And then 1, 3, 4 fingers. Huh? Okay. Then like the knee, this is the elbow. Like that, huh? Kind of. Okay. Same thing, right? So. Oh. cut a new one. So and now I have to make hair, right? I think the one I did this morning is too small. Forget it. Forget it. It's the same brush I did yesterday, cocoa butter. It's not the right brush, but you know the eyes is scary, so scary. Don't want to make a. This can change everything, right? So just. Oh my God. It's okay. So if it's real bad, we put the hair in the face, right? I've done everything, you know, sometimes. Or a splash of water. No, I never done this, but that's a hard one. I don't, that's why I did it this morning in peace, right? I don't like, and it's not like my eyes are getting better the older you get, huh? Okay, baby. So you have to blow this cold, and then big neck, huh? Big neck, man. Okay. I know she's not very attractive right now. Yeah, yeah, but yeah, okay, whatever. So, can you blow quick? Phew. One more time, sorry. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, okay. Then afterwards we need the airbrush blue. Yeah, we have everything there. Okay, pretend this is the flower thing. Whatever, right? We got V on the freaking pressure right now there. Ah, but I'm glad I did it. You know, one new thing every time, and that would be very good. Huh? I want to try quick if I can. Oh, so okay, the airbrush very quick. Blue, blue. Can you hold this? Can airbrush that thing? Thank you very much. Anyway, so we go like that. Can't believe I did this. All right, I wouldn't look better on a surfboard. Anyway. Okay, can you give me the cold spray quick, please? Thank you. Oh my God. Well, if I come again, I'm gonna be more on the Waikiki beach. Huh? Whoa! All right, okay. Can you blow underneath the board, not the skirt, the board. Oh my God! Can you hold it? It doesn't. I thought I had. Here. Is it holding? Holds, huh? Huh? It's good. Thank you very much. Well, that doesn't make the whole thing better, but it's okay. We put this in the middle. It's all right. I'm very happy I could do this. Okay. You didn't ask any questions? Yeah, she's got in the wind. Listen, I want to thank you so much for your patience. And thank you very much. Thank you, Albert Import, Hata. I really enjoyed the days. I know I'm going to sleep much better tonight. And I look forward maybe for another time. All right. Thanks you very, very much. Okay. Need to do 2 minutes.
2 minutes to spare.
Ah, that's good. Is it exactly 2 minutes? Have to. Nobody has any more questions? Look, I want to, if we have a 1 minute more, I would like to go over quick about boiling, right? I boil it ahead. So when you boil isomalt, I take normally 10% water. You don't have to. But if you put 10% water in first and add a little bit, you don't have to worry. Some induction ovens are so very hot, and I've seen very famous chefs burning isomalt. So a little bit water, add, stir a little bit isomalt, and I boil it this way, and up to 320 for pulling and blowing. If you want to make shinier, you can add 10-20% fondant glucose or sugar, shinier. And then if you have a sugar, if it's too hot, You boil it less or faster, right? And so when I look at the ribbon now, I think we had pretty much shiny sugar. It lost, this is from the humidity now, it got dull, right? But that's what it is, and I think you have to fight with the same thing at home as well. I wish you good luck, all right? Thank you again.